Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Sounds like heaven.
Season 11.
Bum.
Bum. That's right, folks. We are back. We are, here's a Christmas trope for you right here, Dragon. Last minute Christmas shopping. Um, we have 3 of these to do and not a lot of time to do them, so we're going to do 2 of them tonight. It's a double dose of Christmas in July tonight. Aren't you excited? I'm excited. Excited! That was a film brain reference, anyways. So, Dragon, tonight we're covering Fraiser, Reindeer games. Definitely. I guess we can start with Dragon, how do you feel about Fraiser, the reboot? Because honestly, I watched the first episode and I watched this just to kind of get caught up. I haven't watched the full season yet, but what do you think about the reboot?
Well, I kind of mentioned it before, but yeah, I rather like it. Plus season 2, they have like basically a lot of returning kind of stars from the guest stars. Sorry, a lot of returning stars as guests from the original Frasier, like Bulldog and such. Like a lot of favorites are gonna be returning going forward. But I I think it had every possibility to be like a cheap cash in, or just to fall on its face, just be sad, and just make everyone miserable. But it feels like the show, Tiki. It feels the fun is there. It's like there's a lot of reverence towards it. They're not doing this half-heartedly. I mean, look, is it very clearly missing David Hyde Pierce? Of course it is.
Yeah, that's the
Okay, I
missing
won't.
ingredient.
Do I care about his drunken professor pal? Not remotely. But do I you know do, but do, am I enjoying the show? Am I love is the Kells delivering as he is wont to do? Absolutely. I'm having a great time with it, and it feels like more Frasier, and the writing is very on point. It's the directors from the original show. It feels like Frasier. That's really all you can ask for. And fingers crossed, High Pierce will kind of actually come into it when they're bringing back the original kind of actors from Frasier going forward. So I don't know. It's possible, but I mean, season 1, I had a great time with, and it was better than I ever imagined it was going to be.
And yes, Kogias, the woman sitting next to Frasier is Roz. Kind of one of the big moments of the episode is her return at the very end of the
Mm-hmm.
season. If only David Hyde Pierce can guest star on the reboot, it wouldn't hurt to do so.
Yeah,
Same goes for Jane Levy's. I would love to see both of them. Honestly, I think they'd fit right in. We shall see.
I think eventually they're going to come into it. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a huge like event, kind of like no one's going to expect them. They're going to show up, kind of a thing.
Kind of like this with Roz. Kind of
That's
play
what
it like
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Roz
Um,
wasn't earned. Roz was earned and saved for the last episode of the season to show that it could like hold on. Basically could exist on its own merits. And I think with that, we're gonna kind of trickle in the rest.
So, Dragon, I'm not as caught up with you. I still need to watch the rest of the episodes, but I definitely will after watching this. I think it's very solid. I think it's very solid. I don't know if the 2 episodes that I watched are like up to the same caliber as like classic Frasier, but again, it might be the missing ingredients of Mahoney and David Hyde Pierce. So we'll see. But what I will say is that they do play really, really good tribute to David Mahoney at any chance they get, including
John
naming
Mahoney.
what? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting my actors mixed up. That's stupid. But yeah, including naming the bar after Mahoney. I thought that
Hmm.
was a nice touch. Uh,
Also,
yeah,
John, the baby.
indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to get into this, but you're gonna kind of have to catch me up to speed on some of the supporting characters and stuff. I'm sure it's not a lot, but what I will say about this Christmas episode is that it is very classic. I love that we're literally doing like a drinking game of Christmas tropes in this episode, Dragon. It's right up our alley in that regard. Classic Fraiser shenanigans. We got a live animal in the equation. Let's go.
Let's effing go.
All right. So any other context you want to add, or do you want to just dive right into it?
Well, I think we got it. Let's just dive into it.
Okie dokie. So we start with the Fraiser intro is short, but it's always nice to see it mixed up with the lights and everything. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the episode proper, we see Fraiser looking through his dad's old Christmas things, and he comes face to face with an old nemesis.
The Cowboy Santa.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple things here. Okay, for starters, again, season 1, what it has going for it, and again, I think even just episodes 1 and 10, which basically is what you've seen, and this is why I wanted you to watch episode 1. Just you get the sense that we are acknowledging the loss of John Mahoney throughout the first.
Sure.
It's season about grieving and kind of of course, we took kind of like the cosmic joke of like the premise they always assumed, a Fraiser reboot would be, which is like, okay, Fraiser's gonna reconnect with Freddy the way he reconnected with his father, which again, not really it's a no-brainer, but adding the context of one of the things that brings them together is losing Martin. Like that's kind of like a lot of the emotional content of season 1.
Then also giving Freddy his own emotional baggage outside of Fraiser, I thought was a smart move too.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I want to be clear. I'm not saying like we kind of like Mahoney's ghost is in all 10 episodes, but I'm saying the beginning of the season.
Yes, I am, Dragon. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah.
I never left the armchair. I'm sorry.
My point is, episode 1 and 10 very much bookends and just kind of reminds us kind of our inciting incident and kind of where we leave these guys and if we were to come back. Because again, season 2 was not a guarantee. Season 1 was just like hey, we're gonna see how this goes. So they think they very much kind of like have kind of the ghost of Martin just kind of like hanging over like the father son reconnecting journey there. So I love that we really feel his presence and we feel just like Fraiser dealing with that, with the holidays. And here's a trope for you: dealing with the loss of a loved one for the first Christmas without a loved one.
First Christmas without a loved one. Oh yeah, and several characters are going to be dealing with that.
So that's I think that was a really strong theme, and Fraiser very much on an annual basis back when they had every season had a Christmas episode. So the new inaugural season they've kept the tradition going. We do a Christmas episode, at least for this first season. They're probably going to tackle other holidays, given it's only 10 episodes per season. But so we have a lot of Martin's Christmas decorations. Like we see the reindeer, the famous reindeer that Fraiser always hated. We have like the little reindeer that he would hang on, the plastic reindeer that we kind of see on the ground. Then we see the toys, the Cowboy Santa, which also again was a classic Fraiser one. He did not like. So Freddy comes in. He's very wistful over the decorations. Tries to say like, "So you're gonna put them up?" I said, "Wistful, nothing saying."
So Fraiser, man, he gets all excited about his idea. And of course, his idea, Dragon, basically boils down to throwing a fancy dinner party. Because of course it does. Of course, that's what Fraiser wants to do.
Now this is something really cool too, Tiki, where again, the whole first season is very much about like, okay, we're gonna take a lot of the classic Fraiserisms, kind of the traditions of the show, and we're gonna like over the 10 episode period, we might kind of building to doing like the iconic Fraiser stuff. So
okay.
If memory serves, this is the first time we have Fraiser hosting the party. This is him hosting a party.
That's actually kind of impressive because that was very much the show's bread and butter.
That's the thing. So like building up to this, you have other kinds of things. This is like the first time we're doing like, okay, Fraiser. Again, Freddy's suggesting, you could have like a small get together, and he turns it into like the big Christmas soiree. And again, it's classic Fraiser, and again, it's nice that we kind of saved it for the finale in that case. It's like if it's a Lazy Boy or a Jack Russell, no.
So Freddy questions if he's just doing all this to kind of bury his feelings about about his father, and Fraiser comes out with a good retort. He says, Freddy, there's a 3-word phrase that is often used in psychiatric circles. The first word is no, and the third word is Sherlock.
Yep. So then we go from a low key small Christmas to with the Crane Christmas soiree. He's ringing the bell.
Where'd you get a scroll? That might be one of the funniest lines of the episode for me.
I just love the Kells in like full town crier regalia, just
full fucking like Charles Dickens regalia, yeah.
So again, this is I forget if this is in the first episode or not that you've seen. This is kind of our middle ground. This is kind of it's kind of our Cafe Nervosa hybrid with the bar.
I don't think I have seen this in the pilot. I don't think it was in the pilot.
So basically, this is kind of like a hybrid of Cafe Nervosa and Cheers. Basically, this is like the bar in Boston that is not Cheers. That Fraiser and Freddy go to, that Eve works at.
I hope we acknowledge that at some point. You know me. We have these Fraiser characters that we want to see again, but I mean, there's other series in this universe.
Well, no, that's true. They've tongue in cheekly kind of chuckled like, oh, I could see myself getting stuck in a bar like this or something along those lines. Like we acknowledge Cheers, but they're very much, they don't want to do when's the Cheers revival? They don't want to go down that route of more Cheers.
Season 3, Season 2, we have to get in Niles.
You know what they're gonna call Season 3, don't you?
What?
3 Cheers.
Oh, God. Of course.
Anyway, so okay. Point being, Fraiser, he's very much going for the big Christmas soiree. So we got Christmas. By the way, so the college bar, Christmas trees. We got the reindeer, Santa Claus decorations. It's so again trope. Look at all that trope.
Oh yeah.
It only took him 40 minutes too. I love when we took him 40 minutes ago to turn this into a big Christmas crane soiree. Okay, so this is Eve's first Christmas without her boyfriend. So the premise here being her boyfriend died, and the father of her child. This is her first Christmas without her loved one. That was Freddy's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the gag here being Freddy and Eve clearly like each other, but he was friends with her. I keep wanting to say fiance or husband, but no, it's just the boy with her deceased boyfriend. So he's so there's a tension there, but they like each other. So they're going for a little bit of Niles and Daphne, as you can probably guess, a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so Freddy, Freddy respects the grief.
Yeah. I just want to point out the name of the Christmas special she's about to watch, the Hallmark movie.
Yeah, please tell him.
I believe it's oh God. Okay, you tell him because you probably have it better memorized than I do.
Okay, it's A Christmas for the Holidays.
A Christmas for the Holidays. There we go.
A Hallmark movie, even too Hallmarky for them. So again, big trope, the Hallmark Christmas, and mocking the Hallmark Christmas.
Well, yeah, and this is just the start of that in this episode. We're going to go way deeper into that.
It's so funny that they've turned our little show into a drinking game.
That's exactly what I was thinking, though. When we see it, we'll get there.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Do we want to shout out comments or wait till they're appropriate to bring up?
I'm kind of waiting till we don't need to shout out every comment here.
That's fine. I just want to make sure. Okay. So let's see. So Freddy promises to check in on Eve.
Mm-hmm.
During the events and things. Basically, Freddy here just saying he can be at two places at once. After all, he's a hero. Admittedly, the hero writing in this one, it's a bit forced. It's okay, Freddy, we get you.
Right.
All right, let's see. Okay, so we establish Freddy's apologizing to Fraiser because his gift has been delayed. So we're kind of building up the big gift that Freddy,
which is very much a trope in its own right. The build up to the big gift. Very tropey. Very tropey.
Oh, seriously, this is a really nice kind of thought. So again, Freddie and Fraiser, they do love each other. There's a really nice father-son kind of arc throughout the season there. Just like, over time, they're very much kind of like distant, and much like Martin and Fraiser, there's a lot of love there. So Fraiser's like,
well, the element that I like about it, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I get the sense that Freddie is kind of the Martin in this dynamic. Am I wrong about that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just that he's more of the everyman.
Yeah.
And Fraiser is still, as Freddie so lovingly puts it, he's Fraserian all over the place.
Which, I asked you not to turn my name into a verb.
Too late, Fraiser. It's already been done.
All right, so I love that. So it's like Fraiser saying, like, "Oh, I'm not bothered. We have wine, we have eggnog, a string quartet, and a Christmas goose from Elysian Farms,
Oh my God.
and my son." As soon as he changes out of those rags. So again, a lot of tropes here: eggnog, Christmas music, and Christmas goose.
Is Christmas? Where have we seen Christmas goose before? I'm sure we've seen it somewhere, but I just want to remember where we've seen it from.
Well, I mean, I'm saying usually. I'm saying Christmas Carol with the whole like the Christmas goose,
Okay,
like,
there we go. All right.
That's the obvious. In general, like the Christmas turkey / goose, but if you want to be specific,
the Christmas poultry.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, let's see. So, okay, so point being, so David arrives. So of course, David is a nod to David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, a little on the nose, and honestly, his presence is just kind of like, why can't we get the actual David Hyde Pierce back?
I mean,
this kid's fine though. He's fun. I guess
he does embody a lot of David Hyde Pierce, which is pretty fun.
He does bring the same energy that Niles did. I just want the actual Niles. I don't know.
It's never going to be the same unless we hear like the Kells like Niles.
Well, yeah, I mean we get like a very brief text cameo from Niles. It's like, so it's got to happen. It's got to happen sooner rather than later.
This is going to be a huge mistake if David Hyde Pierce doesn't show up at all during this show.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So,
so there's shenanigans afoot with David, though, Dragon.
Yes. Well, yes. Well, there are. We're not there yet. That's once Alan gets to the party. However, David does point out something here after the whole he wishes. Here's something where he wishes Freddie half a happy Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, right.
Which again, we a little Hanukkah acknowledgement. There's a trope for you. Kind of the hybrid of like Christmas Hanukkah, as told by Ginger trope there for you.
One of the all-time best specials that we've ever covered on Christmas in July.
Gave his son a gift that could kill him.
Oh God.
Anyway, so we have this fun switcheroo here.
This is what I'm talking about, Dragon. This is the shenanigans.
Yes, seasonal shenanigans.
Yes.
Cross promotion.
Oh my God.
So he's expecting one Christmas tree and 24 chairs, but
he got 24 Christmas trees in one chair.
So this is what I'm talking about.
This is a very, very classic Fraiser setup right here. This just
absolutely
Fraiser.
And isn't it great? The Kells has not lost the step. Just the way he plays the scene, this is exactly how he would have done it back then. The whole, like, oh no, I was like, oh holy night, I transposed the numbers. It's a Sylvanian nightmare.
I've literally lost the florist through the trees.
I can't see the florist for the trees.
Oh my God.
The whole like, there's no room to mingle or jingle.
Yeah, you're right. He does not lose a beat at all.
The whole thing with the buffets is like, again, Freddy's in problem-solving mode here.
The buffet. Let's talk about the buffet really quick because I have a tiny little side tangent to go on. So he's like, so first of all, it's just once again a great delivery by the Kells. That's just great. Christmas at the Sizzler.
Yeah.
Dragon, have we ever talked about Sizzler before?
Maybe one brief time, but we haven't really talked. I mentioned it. We haven't talked.
So I just want to mention Sizzler is fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It might not be high quality food, but I miss the hell out of it. There's one in San Diego. That's the closest one to me. Next time I go down to San Diego, in spite of all the actual foodie spots in San Diego, I want to go to the damn Sizzler. I miss the Sizzler. Just want to throw that out there. Sizzler is amazing. Anyways.
Yeah, so Freddy's in problem solver mode here, which again, very competent firefighter. So he's very much kind of like looking to save the day in that regard. And he's again, you get a sense of the next generational kind of aspect between Fraiser and his son here. Freddy is very much he embodies his grandfather, and he's the gruff kind of working man who's like very much his father. His grandfather was a cop; he's a firefighter, so that's kind of cool. And he does have his father's intelligence, so there's kind of a very rational side to him there, where he can kind of like again, he's no dummy. He's an average Joe, but he's also he's very well read, as we saw all throughout Frasier. When he was a kid, he was he's reading all over the place.
Sure.
So it's kind of a great. It's kind of nice to see. Freddy is pretty much very well adjusted as far as we see in the show. So like Frasier did turn out a really good kid.
If anything, I think the whole thing about like how Frasier looks down on him for being a firefighter, I hope they don't play that up too much, because if anything, I feel like that would make him unlikable, because it's like, I don't know, firefighters are a very respectable career path.
Well, that's the thing. They don't look at. There's one really good episode in the first season that tackles that very subject. So they don't really do it all throughout the show, but it's like one episode where they really acknowledge like how Frasier feels about it, and it basically boils down to kind of a similar fear he had with his father. The idea of like, you don't know what's going to happen when the call goes out. So it's not like him not liking that he's a fighter. He's not looking down.
It's not that he doesn't respect it, right?
So and there's a real. Tiki, no joke. I think it's like episode 4 or something when this happens. There is a beautiful scene between the Kells and Eve, and where he tells her how he feels about his profession. The whole thing of like, I can't tell my son how I feel about this, or else it'll deter him from his profession. It's a really good.
I believe that. Good scene. Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, so. The forest for the trees. Okay, so and of course we also have like as you can tell, we still have like the act break kind of things where basically it's like 'twas the night before Christmas, which our wandering eyes should appear. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so Freddy solved the problem. He's arranged everything, put a couch in the center, so it's not just like standing room only. So it looks really presentable. David's wearing a Christmas sweater. Trope. Also, we have a Christmas disaster averted with the whole like arranging things. That's kind of a regular Hallmark kind of thing there. Like we
it's fixed up everything. It's a little tropey. Yeah. We got the Christmas spread, Dragon. The Christmas spread.
Yeah, look at that spread.
We got the eats.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, you get that from Arby's. That's where you got that. But
you're right. Oh God. Oh, commercialism is just working its way into my little lizard brain. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, you're just eating that giant stack of bones, aren't you? Anyway. So this is the bit where we have like Freddy promises to keep an eye on his father from Frasering all over the place, like stop using my name as a verb. All right, so then Olivia and Alan arrive. So these are Frasier's basically in lieu of the radio station and Roz and Bulldog and such. We have Olivia and Alan.
Yeah, I met them in the pilot. I know enough about them.
All right, good. So Olivia says she can't stay for long. She's got to oversee everything.
Basically with Olivia, I kind of get that she's like very lovesick, but also very career orientated. And Alan is just a lazy son of a bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Alan is kind of the lazy. Here's the thing: Alan and David combined are supposed to be Niles, but in reality, that's the.
I have nothing against the Alan character, but I can clearly see that he's kind of like the weak link in this ensemble.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's okay, but you can tell he's like part of a binary compound that's still nowhere near as good as the original, where you have like the visage and the sound of Niles with David, but you have like the kind of like the rivalry or kind of like the history with Frasier.
But Niles would never dream of like slacking off on a class like this dude does. You know what I mean? That
is true. Yes.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean, though. That's where they're trying to kind of boil down Niles and the two characters, because you need the back and forth, like confidant, kind of like other half of Frasier, and we had that in Niles instantly. We do not have that in Alan.
Uh-huh.
But Alan does have his laughs, but it's very one note.
I will say, I think the side plot that he has with David this episode is pretty fun. I will say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, look, that's the main thing. If you compare the shows, Alan is the big, he's like, yeah, we have an Alan.
Also, let me get this out of my system really quick. I'm sorry, you know what's coming. Alan! All right. So, I had to do it, Dragon. I'm sorry.
See, the difference here is that the Velociraptor sounds like Kelsey Grammer.
Alan!
I don't know. He was like this. Oh, for God's sake, Alan!
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Right. For God's sake, Alan, you're dreaming! Wake up, Alan! There's a movie!
Oh, man. Now, that would be a really good fourth wall break if they ever decide to do that as a fantasy sequence or something.
Alan, the plane is landing!
Alan, I'm a very sophisticated velociraptor!
Alan, you must fix your relationship!
All right, we got it.
For the reboot! Anyway. So, okay, let's see. So they arrive. Freddy brings Christmas to Eve, like each little visit bringing like more and more Christmassy kind of things. In this case, Christmas cookies, trope. Bringing Christmas to the less fortunate, trope.
All right, so she is she's not very convincing that she's having a good Christmas. She's very much bundled up under the blankets, tears in her eyes practically, over the most tropey of trope Hallmark movies.
I don't know what you're talking about. She seems happy as a clam. I mean, come on. Yeah. But, yeah, so she's, yeah. So it's a movie about a business lady who gets stranded in a small town, and she runs into an ambulance driver, a hunky ambulance driver, who basically tells her she needs to like relax and kind of like embrace the holiday spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let's see. So the whole thing of like we're wearing flannel business suit, no way.
Oh my God.
Yep. So again, just a whole boatload of tropes there. Meanwhile, back in Fraiser land, Fraiser's panicked that he screwed up the eggnog. It's over-whisked. I over-whisked the eggnog.
Oh, God.
So he gets the text from Niles. Twas the night before Christmas and altered the house. Essentially, basically, it's twas the night before Christmas. Except Fraiser, went overboard with the eggnog and ruined the eggnog. So that's Niles' cameo.
Yeah.
So we have this. So the idea here is Fraiser's comparing his year, 11 years of failed Christmas parties to like it's Christmas Carol. It's like a ghost coming to visit him.
He is very much stretching the Christmas Carol thing.
Oh, absolutely, and even Freddy calls him on this.
So, would there be a Scrooge in this episode? I don't really think there is, honestly.
Well, let's see.
The next episode we have to talk about, there's a very blatant Scrooge.
Well, yeah.
Like a very in-your-face Scrooge.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. De facto, the Kells is a misguided Scrooge.
You think the Kells is really a Scrooge, though? Because
I mean, look, I don't...
really trying to be into the holiday spirit, like, the most.
He is, but he's also, like, begrudging his son for caring for a widow around the holidays.
How dare his son? What a heartless monster.
That's what I'm saying. We kind of call that out.
The son's the real Scrooge, Dragon. Let's just say there's no Scrooge in this. There doesn't have to be a Scrooge. I just asked because obviously the next one we're talking about is going to be very Scrooge-centric.
God, there's a lot of Scrooge in the next one, folks. Get your blinders on, folks, because the next thing we're podcasting, there's so much Scrooge.
Yeah, maybe a little too much Scrooge, as in you see too much of the actor that plays the Scrooge.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, shield the eyes. It's like Big Fish all over again.
I don't think so. I don't think you saw bare ass in Big Fish.
You did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
DeVito ass?
Yeah. Well, thanks for saying who it is. Yes.
Okay, it's been a while since I've rewatched Big Fish, but
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Remember, he turns into the werewolf, and we pan
Oh
up.
yeah, right. Okay, why is this a trope with you, Danny DeVito? Anyways.
All right, anyway. So, okay, so let's see. So the eggnog is kind of like Ghost One. Let's see.
The trees
Olivia.
were Marley.
Yep, the trees were Marley. Olivia has this great like, am I drinking flan? Poor Fraiser, just the look on it, the Kells with the look on his face right
He's got
there.
the looks down, man. He has not lost a beat when it comes to that.
God bless him. Or I guess God bless us, every Kells.
Oh God, that's corny, dude. That's corny. Right,
Or
anyways.
is it Maze? Okay, so Fraiser, he steals. Freddy steals one of Fraiser's Christmas trees. He's got 12 of them, so the 24 of them. So who's going to notice?
Mm-hmm. I do like the mechanic of like Fraiser having like way too much Christmas stuff, so Freddy can just kind of like easily go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. And it's right across the hall too, which helps.
Yeah.
I still love that conceit, by the way, that Fraiser bought the building, so he can, it's like Freddy's like right across the hall.
All
right. So let's see. Okay, let's see. So we have the firefighters show up. So Freddy's firefighter pals, and these guys I don't think you met yet. So Freddy has.
I don't think so. I got enough of their personality, but yeah, honestly, Dragon, these guys are kind of like one of the big. Like, they were honestly kind of highlights for me. I'd like to see more of them.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, so they basically show up. They keep Eve company. They basically.
I just love how invested in the Hallmark drinking game they get.
Yeah, so we have the Hallmark drinking game. Let's see. So we have a lot of sorry. All right, so they're drinking to a bunch of tropes like the wistful childhood memories, the snowfall, the one kiss, the kiss in the woods. Drink.
I feel like they're being like even more liberal about what counts as a trope than we usually are.
That is true. All right, then Moose comes in. Moose, a lot with the comedy lines here. He comes in with, are there more movies like this, or is this the only one?
That made me crack up. That was a great line. I don't know shit about this guy, but that line basically tells me all I need to know about this guy to some respect. You know what I mean?
We hate the Hallmark movies.
Dragon, there's only one Hallmark movie that we legitimately love, and it's not even a Hallmark.
True.
Oh, God. The Night Before Christmas.
With a K.
Yes.
I found the magic bee.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is this me?
Oh,
God.
Anyways.
All right. Okay, so let's see. So oh yeah, so the second ghost strikes here. It's with the band. So apparently it's the Brandenburg string quartet is the Brandenburg Elementary string quartet.
Why would they even play something like this? This is entirely inappropriate.
So I
like that they've got like their little music teacher there too, and she's like in the back. She doesn't really have any lines, but she's like trying to be encouraging to them. She knows they suck.
Reminds me a lot of the opening of Soul, by the way, where we played like the off key, like when you
a little bit, yeah. Especially at the end when we literally do the off key theme song thing.
Yeah. So I love Freddy's like cheeky line. This is like showing that this is Fraiser and Lilith's kid here. The whole like, well, is it a major problem? It sounds more like a minor problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Freddy, he has like that everyman energy, but he's also got an air of sophistication to him when he wants to, but he knows how to pull back on it, unlike Fraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Good dynamic there.
All right, let's see. So I believe like the donors of the college, and then we saw these guys in an episode with Alan, where basically Alan made Fraiser look bad, and it's this thing where Fraiser basically to the short guy, the short prissy guy, Dev.
Uh-huh.
He thinks Fraiser's an alcoholic, which is kind of funny.
Okay.
So that's the gag here. That's why he's really catty towards him, because he's under the impression that Fraiser had like an allergic reaction to it was either a bee sting or something. He had an allergic reaction, and he basically ran to do a lecture, and he's there watching him, and he basically sees like Fraiser stumble in looking like a complete drunk. Anyway,
I do like the gag where they walk in and they just come to a charity. Really, which one? Save the trees.
Well, that's really funny. That's Fraiser humor. That's Fraiser humor right there.
Totally.
All right. Okay, so then we
You're
have.
gonna have to catch me up on Smokey Dragon.
Oh, she's just one of the firefighters.
All right, that's fair enough. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So she shows up, and we have the misdirection of it's the classic Fraiser misdirect, where Fraiser thinks like he's like she's there for his party, and like we needed we needed more champagne, thank you. It's like when Fraiser's like grabbing and like handing it off to her, and she gets caught in the middle. Okay. Meanwhile, David and Alan they have their new drinking game, which essentially is we're gonna make everyone say all the reindeer names.
And this I really like the direction this goes in.
Oh yeah.
Also gives the episode its title, which is nice.
Yeah, so initially it just starts off of them just like working in the conversation. Then it evolves into they get all the guests like say it, so they kind of trick the guests into saying the reindeer names, which is a lot of fun.
I like how they keep trying to like escalate the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Let's see. Okay, so. Then Dave just kind of ruins everything. He's making it too easy. He's starting to like say a bunch of them, like like Professor, like not. We have like Professor Rudolph there somewhere, but we had like
Haberdasher.
There you go, Haberdasher.
Uh-huh.
I love the fact that it's like it's not just 8 reindeer. It's like they're including Rudolph in the mix. It's all 9 reindeer.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have.
If they didn't include Rudolph, that'd be ableist, my friend.
What?
Ableist.
Ableist.
Yeah, ableist.
Well, I know, I know what ableist. Why would you quantify it as ableist?
I don't know. I would like to think that Rudolph is kind of like an ableist parable.
Okay.
Okay. You clearly don't agree with me, but that's fine.
No, I think it's fine. I don't know. You kind of throw an ableist around there. I don't really think you wish you kind of defend like the whole it's absolutely ableist.
Because Rudolph is. You don't think of Rudolph as like an allegory for a disabled kid?
Well, there you go. That's what I'm looking for, Tiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, Jesus, right. Way to make that awkward.
Tiki, the viewing audience might not know what ableist is. That's what I was trying to get you to kind of maybe elaborate on.
I think they know what ableist is, Dragon. All right.
I don't know. I don't know the ableist with Rudolph. It's just anyway. The point being, let's see. So the third ghost strikes, in quotes, ghost. The Christmas goose arrives, and Tiki boy doesn't.
Oh, and this is the most classic Fraiser gag. I like how throughout the episode it almost kind of just keeps elevating. Like, okay, we've got the trees. We've got the kids' choir. Now let's have a live fucking animal.
Yep. It's not a Fraiser party unless we have like a live animal of some kind.
Ain't that the truth?
Yep. Of course, one of the best examples, which we call back later, is the bird that was on Niles' head. You remember the bird that was on Niles' head? Did you ever see that one?
I think I do remember that, yeah.
God, it's so funny. And he's trying to make a good impression. It's like his house warming, it's like his apartment warming, and he just has like
Reminds
this.
me of the
this
time that Peter Griffin got the nest of baby birds stuck in his beard.
it's a lot like that actually. Niles got a pet bird that is like
Right.
here. It's like it talons onto his head, so he can't take it off. And every time like the bell rings, it like clenches down.
Oh man.
Anyway, so then we have this great thing where the goose arrives and he sees like, oh god, it's alive. And it's this beautiful shot of the Kells in the kitchen looking at this live goose, and then like he comes out, he stumbles out like, Freddy, my goose is not cooked. It's perfect. Moose meets Olivia, and there's a lot of chemistry there.
Yeah, like I said, I think out of all the firefighting characters, I think Moose is definitely the one that I'm drawn to the most, given this episode.
This is hopefully something they'll carry over in the next season. That
I
Olivia
would like to
Moose.
think so, because I feel like there is, like, the way they ended it, it didn't seem like it was just like a fling or like, oh my god, what are we doing? We're drunk, you know? It seemed genuine, you know what I mean? It seemed earnest.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. They're basically using the Hallmark as pickup, as like basically Hallmark lines as pickup lines, which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So, and then we have this adorable line from Moose, like, "I'm in the movie."
Oh my god.
Sounds like something you'd say, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Yep, it's a movie.
It's a movie. This is a movie we're watching now in a movie theater.
Yep. So imagine he was like prancing into a theater, like saying, doing the Smurf, like fa la 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 la, and it's like it's a movie.
Hey everyone, guess what? We're watching a movie.
Anyway. Okay, so let's see. So Smokey mentions that there's a party across the hall, which leads to a mass exodus of the bomb party.
Uh-huh.
David wants to stay, but Alan like lures him away with the game. And basically, he's hard of hearing. It's this whole like So poor Fraiser has been completely abandoned by everyone except the band.
Yeah. I love the shot of the band playing like as Fraiser standing alone.
Also, like Niles calls and Fraiser lies so well. Like, lies that the party's going well. Like the goose, it's very fresh. Then he comes out, and then he sees everyone at the party's left. Fraiser's alone, and we have O Tannenbaum playing. But it's like, oh, sure, now that everyone's gone, you play it great.
Right.
It's a really good joke.
All right, and then you kind of skip to the moose thing because that's here. So going a little out of order though, but that's okay.
Well, I said that's when he started, and I think like now, well, which moose part are you talking about?
Well, just the start of it.
Okay, all right. I guess I jumped ahead then. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. So okay, let's see. So Freddy returns because he took a phone call, which was about his dad's gift, and he sees that oh no, his father's alone. He goes in there frantically trying to get everyone to go back over. Let's see. Fraiser pays the band. He says he wishes that Santa Claus brings the kids the gift of rhythm.
Oh my god!
I love how he insults these children. It's just priceless. All right, so then Fraiser hears like a commotion going on across the hall, and he sees a party. He's very hurt by this,
Mm-hmm.
and he lays it out. It's like of all the years of Fraiser the show, a lot has happened. There's been a dead seal, a bird to the head. There's a bathtub through the ceiling, and a corpse. Never has anyone completely abandoned him. To everyone at the party to walk across the hall. He feels utterly betrayed. It's a bigger betrayal since the Donner Party.
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ! I missed that line.
That's bingo. That's bingo for Alan and David. It'd be great if in the next season they introduced a character by the name of Greer, so that all together they could be David Allen Greer.
Oh my god. Also, I really like that they get Dancer out by asking what's your favorite Elton John song? Tiny Dancer?
Yep.
Yes, got it. All right, so we got some hallway apologies with Fraiser and Freddie.
Yep. Let's see. Freddie hypes up Fraiser's gift and everything that's just about to arrive, and Freddie just wants some space. We have this. Okay, this is we gotta talk about this. Beautiful low of lows moment here. There's a seriously in the writing. You have to tip your hat to this moment here. Fraiser is alone. He looks at the cowboy Santa, and he says so beautifully, "Dad, I really miss you."
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
So again, the Kells bringing the drama. He's bringing the darkness of the soul moment. Then he hits the button on the cowboy Santa, and it dies. So the symbol of his father dies. It's like, oh my god, like your heart breaks for him. It's like, oh my god, he's Charlie Brown of the special. Like it's like basically this is the I've killed it moment. There's a trope for you, the I've killed it trope.
I would say that is a good trope. It doesn't come around too often, but it is there.
So the second that I love this, the second that happens, he gets the phone call that his gift's at the door, and it's Roz.
I love the audience reaction to this.
Yeah,
it's a nice surprise.
Gilpin. Where's Perry?
No, seriously, I love that. Roz very much is kind of like that sort of Christmas gift where it's like, just the gift of old friends and trope unto itself, I would say.
Yeah.
But she really does come in and just lighten the mood, lighten everything. I hope she kind of maybe not necessarily sticks around as a regular, but maybe makes a couple other appearances here and there in season 2. I don't know. I mean, she fits in like a glove into this group.
Yeah, she does. She shows up, like treat an old friend to a drink, and says, "Hear the goose? Maybe let's go to the bar." Like she doesn't even need to know what's going on. She just knows how Fraiser's parties go. It's like, okay,
right, exactly. Oh, Fraiser party shenanigans.
By the way, I was going to get in here for a little cross promotion. Where's Perry?
Oh God,
there she is. Okay.
I hope you're proud of yourself for that one.
Yeah, a little bit. That's maybe 60-40. All right, so Eve and Freddie, nice little moment here where they acknowledge, that Freddie has, Freddie's been, helping both her father and Eve out, but, he's lost both these people. He's lost his best friend, and he's lost his grandfather, and she's asking, like, how are you coping with all this? And she basically very smartly ascertains, like, you're probably coping to fix your coping mechanism is fixing other people's problems.
Right.
Yeah. How do you feel about this?
No, I think it's accurate. I think it's smart for them to point that out.
Yeah. All right, so Moose and Olivia, they hit it off. Again, it's during the party, they're hitting it off and everything. I forget if we do like the thing where we're tearing up. Oh no, we do that at the end. Sorry. So they're hitting it off quite nicely. David and Alan, they've had their fun. They're about to leave and call it quits.
The most fun I've ever had sober.
Which is the most like non.
Whiskeys. Well, British sober.
There you go. It is the most non-cynical that character's ever been in this show, which is really nice too. Just the idea of like him actually having a good time with David of all people. He would usually scoff and make fun of
Reindeer game.
Yeah, kind of nice because usually I'm not saying he bullies David, but he just doesn't really think much. He doesn't really give David time of day that much. All right, so then they come up with the whole 12 days of Christmas. You're on. All right, so Olivia, this is the bit I was thinking of. So they're alone in Fraiser's apartment, and they kind of make it. She makes it snow. She's like, basically, he keeps coining lines from the Hallmark special, which is like, now we just need look at all these trees. We just need some snowfall. So she opens up her paperwork and she like tears like that piece of paper up and throws it around. They share a kiss. And it's real nice. And then we punctuate with a classic Fraiser gag. Actually. That paper has an important signature, a phone number on it. They're frantically trying to piece it together.
Very much a Charlotte Pickles moment, I would say.
There you go. That's a sweet pool, Tiki.
Yeah, thank you.
See, there you go. That's better than ableism with Rudolph. There you go.
God.
See, we bought it back. Okay. Let's see. So after that, so right Mahoney's, which again is what we named the bar, as you pointed out, and Roz and Fraiser. This is really sweet. They toast to Martin. They toast to their fallen cast member. Yeah, this is real sweet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in this moment, you could definitely feel like it's less the characters and more the actors almost directly kind of like working out their own feelings, which is nice.
Very authentic.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's this really nice moment of like Fraiser's admitting it's a shame that he didn't that his father didn't see him able to reconnect with Freddy, which again is like the meta, contextual. Like the whole thing is a shame Mahoney wasn't around to see like us do this story like we kind of always talked about doing for years.
Right.
And see, this is I wonder if he's proud of me. And he says, "Of course he's proud of you. He's laughing his butt off at you and your shenanigans going on down here," which is exactly what Fraiser.
Which he would be. He totally would be. He would just be tickled pink by the party shenanigans.
Well, I mean, he'd be tickled pink by the premise of the show. Like, okay, now Fraiser knows he's going through exactly what it's like. And then we kind of mention what's going on with Roz's child, Alice, was her little girl. Basically, she has a steady boyfriend, which of course Roz never had.
I like that Roz is almost disturbed by that.
Yeah.
She's wasting so much time.
Yep. Then we have the conversation about Freddy and Eve, which wait a minute, Freddy, you're mad at your firefighter son.
I love how Roz this is classic Roz right here, just laying out the fucking truth bombs.
Which so often was her role. She would basically sum up Fraiser's problem how myopic it really is. The whole thing, like, so you're upset with your son for standing by her dead boyfriend. Basically her dead boyfriend, like his best friend's girlfriend on her first Christmas without him. It's just great. Like, dang it, Fraiser! It's so good to say that. It just says it with joy, and it's real nice. And now Fraiser owes Freddy an apology, and then we have this really sweet ending here where everyone returned the Fraisers, and they set up the traditional dinner.
Yeah.
Yep, just like he envisioned.
What's funny, Dragon, is that in a way, both the episodes that we're covering tonight kind of have that heartwarming ending where it's like, oh, look, it all worked out after all. But then in the other one, something goes down, of course.
Yep, something violent.
Right.
So Freddy and Fraiser, this is, I gotta be honest, this almost brings a tear to the eye here. This is really beautiful, where he says, Fraiser says to Freddy, you're a lot like your grandfather. Always. And I love the way you can kind of hear the emotion in the Kel's voice here, where he says, you look after everyone else before yourself.
Totally.
That is utterly beautiful, man. That's just utterly
probably true to John Mahoney himself too.
Yeah, absolutely. And
outside the character, yeah,
and the character and all that. It's a perfect little line there.
Mm-hmm.
This is I hope you can come to me if things aren't okay, which is basically the acknowledgement of your father is a pretty good therapist, so you could go to him. And it's just he basically is acknowledging that come to me when you're ready, kind of a thing. He's not forcing the conversation. He's just saying, I'm here if you need me.
Right.
So let's go kill a goose. Oh God. And let's see. Then we have the toss out and scrambled eggs.
This is classic, man. This is fucking classic.
Yeah.
It's almost fourth wall breaking. You know what I mean? So yeah, Kells is conducting the children's choir. And it's not going well. But again, I love that the teacher is just silently there, just trying to be encouraging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
And that's it.
And that's about it.
Oh, well, also, he's like snapping the little pointer stick and everything to it. That's great.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay, just to get into some comments here, Code DS says he wouldn't be surprised if David Hyde Pierce shows up for the finale. I'm assuming he means the finale of season 2.
I hope so. It's not just the series finale. It's going to be a long ways to go.
He also says, I respect them for not trying to have an artificial intelligence version of Father Romeo. Can you imagine? That'd be so fucking awful. Okay, let's see. Little Blue also says, Jack Skellington saying, What's this? What's this? A new Fraiser Christmas special? I didn't want to shout that out specifically because I can't sing, but there you go. All right, that's all the comments. Dragon, final thoughts, and then we'll get to tropes.
Yeah, so final thoughts again. I'm really feeling this. I was really impressed by this and the fact they used it as their finale. I thought it was a really good move. I mean, I think we hit a lot of things. This is kind of what we look for in Christmas in July. There's tropes up the yin yang. There's a lot of heart. There's it works as a good episode itself, as well as a Christmas episode. I think it checks all the boxes, man. I think this one's it's a real peach.
Yeah, I agree. I think. Well, I don't know if this Dragon. I think I might like the next one we're going to talk about a little better than this, just as far as like. Like that episode, I feel like is a classic, like from a comedic point of view. The episode of the bear that we talked about is a classic from like a dramatic point of view. But this, I feel like it's very comfortably right in the middle, right? Like it's got a little bit of cynicism, but it's also got a lot of heart. It's not terribly dramatic, but it's definitely got some tear-jerking moments in it. So yeah, I do like it a lot.
All right.
Also shouting out Sonia Pantoja, who we haven't seen in a while, so it's nice to see you again. Popping in. All right. Tropes, Dragon. My God, we have a lot of them.
Wait, did we shout out everyone else too?
Yeah, just Little Blue and Kogias. That's it.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. All right. Yeah, so a lot of tropes. Okay, well, just the bar is decorated.
I would say just kind of like miscommunications with Christmas plans, like like the party going awry, all that stuff just can be piled into one big trope.
The chaotic Christmas party,
right?
Let's see. So we have the chaotic Christmas party. We have eggnog. We have decorations. We have Hallmark being referenced. Hallmark Christmas. Christmas drinking game.
Indeed.
We have reindeer names.
I would say just the idea of having like a game based off of the concept of reindeer games is kind of a trope unto itself.
We have both Christmas. Let's see. We have a lot of Christmas music being played, obviously. With very off key. Mm-hmm. We have let's see.
Animal shenanigans, I feel like, is a thing.
Well, we have the Christmas goose.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We have the.
I assume you mentioned the first Christmas without a loved one, because that's a big one.
There we go. Let's see. We have the Christmas reunion with Roz.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the person being it's the Hey Arnold Christmas trope, like the loved one kind of showing up at the door.
Wait, it's not that dramatic, Dragon.
Oh no! I mean, it's still sadness,
No, I'm just saying, like you're holding it up to a titan there when it comes to like dramatic Christmas reunions. It doesn't get much more dramatic than that.
This is again. It's not. It doesn't. Yes. All right. Okay. Anyway, here's one for you though. One is kind of a dramatic moment. We have the I've killed it Christmas trope. I've killed Christmas.
Sure.
Let's see. We have the we have a Christmas Carol and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas referenced.
Mm-hmm.
And there's we have a town cry. Kind of like Christmas. They have kind of a Christmas vibe with the town crier. So we have like a Christmas town crier.
Right.
All right, like old-timey Christmas kind of thing. We have like Christmas trees. We mentioned that, and
the Christmas spread.
Yep, the Christmas
Dragon, the eats.
Yep,
I'm just gonna keep using that now.
Christmas at the Sizzler.
Yes, Christmas at the Sizzler.
It's Christmas at the Sizzler, but Tiki's making it sound like Christmas at the Arby's. But yes. We've got the eats. God, let's see. I think that's. I mean, I think we've. Santa, the cheesy, the cheesy dancing Santa Claus.
There you go. All right.
All right.
I think we've
Yeah.
covered it. Okay, guys. Let's see. I'll answer Sonia Patonja's question really quick, and then I'll tease up what's coming up next. So she says, I have a question for you guys. Have you seen the trailer for the film adaptation of Wicked? What are your thoughts on the film adaptation of Wicked? Dragon, I assume you don't have many thoughts, right?
Not really.
So I'm still holding out hope for it, but Sonia, I'll tell you, the one thing with the trailer that I really don't like, they really just spell out. It's one of those trailers where it just spells out exactly like beat for beat what part one is going to be. And if part one ends at the same place where act one of the play ends, I literally feel like it's kind of a formality to even see the movie at this point. I feel like I've seen everything already. I'm still going to see the movie. I'm looking forward to the movie. It's been a long time coming. But yeah, man, I feel like they're going too overboard with the trailers. All right, hope that adequately answers your question. So, folks, tune in immediately. I know it says 11:30 Eastern, but we're going to do it immediately because we didn't really know how long this was going to go on. So, within the next 5 minutes or so on the channel, we will be going live with the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, A Very Sunny Christmas. Looking forward to that. All righty. So, Dragon, we have something to ponder, though.
Yeah, Tiki. It's just yet again, we're kind of like at the halfway point, if you will, and it feels like we would have figured it out by now. It feels like we would have had like a name for like not a drinking game name, but like a name for like just a process of listing all these tropes like we just did because we had fun, we had a good time. We want to put labels on things. We want to put a nice little festive holiday label with a silvery zeal on this puppy. We want to if we're gonna kind of dedicate a month of our lives to this every year for 11 seasons, possibly 10 or 11. I'm not sure that math works, but however it does, we gotta call this something, Tiki. And I'm going crazy that we don't have a name for this. What are we ever gonna call this process?
All right, well, Little Blue said something about Jack Skellington, and what's Jack Skellington? What's that contraption that Jack Skellington's looking under, Dragon?
I mean, I don't know. Is it a looking glass? Is it
no? It's a microscope, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just pretend that the little clips that he's looking at. Let's just pretend they're little pieces of mistletoe, Dragon.
Yeah.
So put that together, and he's putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope. My God, for the frickin' 100th time, we've done it.
Oh, I smell you stepping in, Sensei. I like the sound of that.
All right.
Let's use it. Tiki, darn the consequences. Let's use that title.
Next time on Christmas in July. Oh, great Christmas at the Sizzler.